to today's live, which is the second instalment on maths and money, and this one is for 7 to 9-year-olds. So as mentioned in Monday's live, teaching children about money mostly is really beneficial because it equips your child for the future. So if you do want to find out what your child would have already learned before year 3 and year 4, then you can go and check out my Monday live where I mentioned how your child will have learned about recognising coins and using coins and converting coins. So when they get into year 3 and 4, I will explain what happens with money. So in year 3 and year 4, your child should ditch the coins to begin with and recognise notes. So for recognising notes, it's really important that your child knows that we have £5 notes, £10 notes and £20 notes and £50 notes and so on, and that you can't get a £30 note, for example, or you can't get a £7 note. Your child should begin by knowing what are notes and what you can get notes in and what you then have to get coins in as well. And equally what you can't get coins in. So you can't get a £5 coin, but you can use 5 £1 coins or use a £5 note. So to do this, simply experiment and use money in your day-to-day lives. This can be real money when you go to the shop and you can encourage your child to pay for things, or you can use play money, which I know that I find it a lot easier to experiment with. So I've got a play money, I've got a £10 note here. So I would say to my child, oh, how else can I make this £10 note with just notes? Then I'd have a little look at my notes. Oh, 5 add 5 is 10. I could use £2 notes and then 2 £5 notes, and these £5 notes have the same value as the £10 note, and so on. And you can also have a go at an activity that we have got in our Recognising and Understanding Notes book activity booklet, and the activity is a cash machine combination activity. So if you wanted to have a go at this with your child, I can just share with you one of the activities which is in the UK Notes Explained for Kids booklet on our website. And one of the activities is simply this activity here. So we've got lots of different cash machines, £5, £10, £20, and a challenge 35, because your child will realise that you can't have a £35 note, so your child would need to add notes together, which again you can do with play money, real money, or money that you pictures of money that you've printed out. And then your child can have a go at trying to feed the cash machine with certain notes. So they could use a £50 note, or they could use 2 £20 notes and a £10 note. For the 35, could they use a 20, a 10 and a 5, or they might use 3 10s and a 5. And there's lots of different things, ways and combinations that your child could work out, and there's different boxes. There's 3 boxes there that your child could have a little go at filling out, just so they can recognise different combinations. And it's really important to make note to your child that it is a cash machine, that cash machines can only take notes. So you're focusing on just the notes to begin with. So you can ask your child lots of different combinations and totals and explain that sometimes there might be only one option, or sometimes there is a few options. And that booklet is really useful as well, because there is lots of explainer videos within the booklet that your child can watch a video explaining money to them and then have a go at the activities as well. So then once you've had a little go at experimenting with notes, learning about notes, then you can expand on your child's knowledge of money by converting. So this is where we get the coins back out, and we can convert between pounds and pence, and your child will use their knowledge that they have learnt in Key Stage 1 and what they would have learnt in by experimenting with notes, to then be able to convert money. So a little way that I would set up an activity on converting money is, first of all, I would have a little go at just writing out the conversions. So on my whiteboard, I'm writing out 100p is £1, and then I know that 235 pence is £2.35. So with this is your child really getting to know that decimal notation, that decimal that is in the money. And there's a few ways that you could have a little go at learning about the decimal notation and understanding pounds and pence together. So first of all, what you could do is you could use our resource, which is in the comments, which is a challenge resource where your child can write a certain amount of money in different ways. So if I just share my screen now, the converting money challenge cards look a little bit like this. There's lots of different ways. You can display them on a device if you don't want to print them out. You can print them out, cut them up, or you can have a go at making your own using a grid like this, where you ask your child to write something in pounds, pence, words and coins, and only give them 1 or 2 options there. So you could write £2.11, and then your child would need to write it in pounds. That's remembering the pound symbol, the pound sign, and the decimal place, the decimal notation, and then in pence as well, which would be 211 pence, and remembering that P for pence. And they could also draw out coins or use their play money or real money to show it in coins as well. So there's lots of variations you could have a go at creating yourself, or also using that resource. And another thing that you could do is then just explore with what you've got. So you might then maybe try and say to your child, oh, these challenge cards will do this, so use the conversion to help you. So then your child can write out with using the equals symbol as well to help them out. And then once your child has understood the decimal notation, this can then lead into adding pounds and pence. So you can encourage your child to line up the buttons, which I'll show you later on, or have a go at writing it all in pence before converting it back into pounds. So if I share my screen with you now, this is how I've done it. So at the top, I've done £3.66 at £2.21. I've lined up the buttons, and I have then done simple column addition to work out it's £5.87. Or you can convert it into pennies. So you can have a little go at taking out that point, that decimal, and converting it, and knowing that 100 pennies is in a pound. So I know it will be 366 add 221, and I've just done little hops like you would see on a number line to convert it back into pounds and pence. It's whatever your child finds easiest with that. So then there's lots of different ways you can experiment with doing that. You could maybe, if you're having a look at some items online, you could have a little go at adding up, lining up the buttons, getting out a whiteboard or a pen and some paper and doing that with your child. You can role play shops or go to the shops, and role playing shops and going to the shops is also a really useful way to check for change. Now, if you caught my live on Monday, or if you go back and watch it, you'll see a resource that I shared, which it would also be beneficial for children in year 3 and year 4. I can just share it with you again now. So this resource is really good if you want to work out change, and it begins by just working out change for change in pence, and then you can extend on your child's knowledge by doing this a very similar way, but by using pounds and pence. So you could maybe put a £2 coin down and say it's £1.73, or a £5 note, and you could do this in person. You can put a £5 note down if you've got play or real money, and then you could grab any item like a toy or a pen, for example, like I've got here, and say, oh, this pen actually costs £1.10. How much change would I get if I pay with £5? And do that all the way with £5, £10, £20, see what they can work out, and encourage them to use the button method by using the column like I've just shown, if they need a little bit of help working it out as well. So there's lots of ways that you can explore notes with your child at home. If you do give pocket money, a great way to explore and really see the purpose in money and add purpose to your child's pocket money is to do similar activities when giving them their pocket money and working out how they've done it differently or the same. We have a really useful resource on our website as well, which you'll be able to find, where it's a chore chart. So if your child needs or you would like your child to carry out certain activities, then they can do so and tick them off, and then maybe write how much and convert the money that way, and maybe see how many different ways you could make that. So they might have done something and they've got £1. You could then pay them in 50p's or 2 50p's or one £1 coin, however you wish to do so. And we also do have a really good guide for parents, which is step by step for money, if you did want to have a look at the progress your child will make through their primary education when learning about money. If you would like to find and have a look at any of the activities, they are in the comments. And if you do want to find out about what your child will learn in Year 5 and Year 6, the final instalment of Money Lives will be at 4:30 on Friday, where I'll be explaining what your child will learn when they're in Year 5 and Year 6 to do with money. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then.